Hi there everyone, Lars here with another wholesome manga romance recommendation, brought to you by Camille's Harem. Not just a podcast for novice writers by novice writers, but also a YouTube channel by novice writers for novice writers, because writing is an adventure, it's more fun with friends. This Monday's recommendation is Yancha no Anjou-San. This manga follows the adventures and many awkward flirts of Gairu Anjou and bowl-cut nobody Seto. Anjou is a girl flaunting the conventions of Japanese culture and conformism, who then teases Seto with all kinds of misunderstandings and double meanings, trying to get him to show at least some kind of feelings towards her. Seto, for his part, is a guy coasting through life and has no idea what to make of Anjou's antics, but ever so slowly, he finds himself falling for her. Meanwhile, their small circle of friends cross and more awkward romances bloom between them. Now, I'll be honest with y'all. According to my rant at the beginning of the month about toxic relationships being advertised as the norm and as something healthy and something that everyone should strive for, this manga seemingly should be thrown onto that same burning pile of trash stories. However, I had the lucky break, you might say, of coming across this manga while just perusing for other stories out there, and I saw that it had a ton of chapters. So I went directly to the most recent chapters. And while this might mean getting a bunch of spoilers, what I've learned is this. When you see a rom-com with a ton of chapters, that means one of two things. Either there is no development whatsoever across the entire story, or the second scenario is that the story is actually amazing, with incredible character arcs that are deep and complex, and that there's a whole lot happening to take these characters from point A to point Z, and you are in for some fantastic, fulfilling character arcs. And what I found when I skipped ahead was that the several chapters that I did read of Anjou and Seto were actually of them becoming a couple. So it annoyed me a little bit because I'm like, wow, that's a lot of chapters to get to that point, but hey, at least you got there. But the other chapters that I read as well were of their friends engaging in some fantastic interactions and some very flirtatious moments that really caught my attention, because I was like, wow, that's actually kind of unique. I don't know who these characters are, and yet that scenario that I just read right there, that's cool. I really like that. Okay, let's give this a try. So I decided to read from the beginning, and I read all the way up to that point, and I'm glad that I did, and that I stuck it out even further, because where the manga currently is, there's just been some amazing character progression for Anjou, for Seto, and for all of their friends. And the themes of the story have come together also very well. However, there are two big criticisms that I will lob at Anjou-San, though. The first is that the manga takes way too long to pick up. I mean, like 20 to 30 chapters could easily have been shaved off, and almost nothing of value would have been lost. Yes, it is a lot of fun to learn more of the small details of Anjou's life, but it's not balanced out by learning more interesting things about Seto. Again, this is why he's a bowl-cut nobody. And this seriously highlights my second criticism, that there's no real reason for Anjou to like Seto from the beginning of the story. Later on in the manga, you can't help but root for Seto because he grows more confident, he becomes a way more nuanced character, and he then begins to balance Anjou out very well. But there is nothing in the beginning to suggest romance between these two could ever be possible beyond the wish fulfillment of the mangaka. Now, those two criticisms might sound like good grounds to dismiss the story altogether, especially when there are so many other great romances out there for you to enjoy. However, I'll still encourage you to check out Yancha no Anjou-San because, well, it has great payoff. It really does. Much like with Please Don't Tease Me, Miss Nagatoro, this manga tells the tale of an unhealthy relationship blossoming into a real and wholesome romance. But Anjou-San doesn't stop there, because it doesn't have just one relationship that goes from unhealthy to healthy, it has three. My personal favorite of the three main relationships has to be between Inuyama and Toyota. which I know sounds like the car, but hey, that's the way it goes right here. It's great watching a paradoxically uptight Gairu character falling for the perverted artist, who then realizes that there is no way that he can actually be with this girl if he doesn't shape up as an individual. And so you get some great interactions between these two as they bounce off of each other and slowly grow into far better, more honest versions of themselves that then also allow them to start falling in love even more with each other. For me, this is what makes a romantic story memorable. It's not just about characters falling in love and overcoming the awkward crush phase and eventually getting together with all the steamy trimmings. No, it's characters slowly transforming into their best selves through these many interactions and learning to navigate a very important relationship. As they grow, we hope to see that growth reflected in how they interact and become closer. If a romantic story cannot deliver on that front, it doesn't matter how fluffy or steamy it is. It will only just be as hollow and unfulfilling as a gigantic wad of cotton candy. So, because Yancha Gal no Anjou-San delivers on that important count, that is why I can wholeheartedly recommend this rom-com manga. Just don't let the opening chapters dissuade you. They are important, you gotta read through them, but yeah, maybe you'll be like me and be like, I think we can shave off some of this stuff and get to the better parts way sooner. But, well, that'll do it for this video. If you're a novice author looking for some real good solid writing advice, then please check out our other videos here on our channel. You can also head on over to our podcast and check out some of the great episodes there where you get the whole harem talking things out together. And of course, we would love for you to join our growing community of novice authors. And if you'd like to support everything that we do here, please like and subscribe, or even better, check out our books that we've published. Links to them and everything else are in the description below. And until the next video, y'all, tschüss.